There's a secret to being a champion in life, and I want to speak to you about that secret today. Those who are champions, they understand this secret. In fact, this secret really separates those who are mediocre in life and just achieve mediocre things from those who really do well and become champions. Now, what is that secret? That secret is balance. To be balanced in your life. When you're balanced, you run like a champion. You live to the fullest potential that you have. Now, how do you achieve that potential? The Bible talks about let us run the race with endurance, and it talks about running a race, and it compares the Christian life to a race. But then it says, looking unto Jesus, the author and the perfecter of our faith. Now, when you look unto Jesus, what you're going to see is the most balanced human being who's ever walked the face of this planet. He was all God and he was all man. He was called the Son of God and the Son of Man. He loved as no one ever loved, and yet he was just and holy and pure. And so you see this balance in him. He loved the masses. He wept for the multitudes, and yet at the same time, he reached out and he cared for those who were lonely and no one else loved and cared about. Balance. When you see Jesus, you see the most balanced human being who has ever lived. Now, the Bible says in that same Hebrews chapter 12 passage, it says something very, very interesting. It talks about, lift up those weak hands and strengthen those feeble knees. And it talks about our weaknesses and when we're running this race. And one of the things that we have to really come to grips with is that all of us have weaknesses and all of us have strengths. Now, this is one reason that marriage is so beautiful, because what I have discovered in my own marriage, and as I've looked around and seen many other marriages that God has blessed, is that God normally puts together two people who are so different from each other. One is strong in one area and weak in the other. And the way we strengthen our weaknesses is God gives us a partner. And that partner enables us to see our weaknesses and helps us to overcome those weaknesses. And we do that same thing with that person that God has given to us. I know this is what's happened with my wife and myself, is that we have balanced each other. We've helped each other to become more like Jesus, and what a joy it is. And so I want to encourage you in your marriage to, instead of seeing that your differences are the things that, really separate you, see that your differences are the things that God has given you to make you more like Jesus, to make you a champion, to make you balanced in your walk with Him. So embrace the way God has made you, and embrace that spouse that God has placed in your life if you're married, and you allow God to bring balance into your life through the people that He's brought into your life, and keep your eyes on Jesus.